Welcome to Sacred Harmony, where insight, healing, and the deeper layers of human experience intertwine. Today, we are joined by Frank Healy, licensed professional counselor, life coach, author, and a man with a remarkable gift highly superior autobiographical memory. Frank has remembered every single day of his life since the age of 6, which gives him a rare and profound relationship with memory, healing, and personal transformation. With over 40 years of counseling and coaching experience, he brings an extraordinary depth of understanding to how our past shapes our peace and how we can reclaim that peace with intention, compassion, and even the power of music. So let's step into this illuminating conversation. Welcome to the show, Frank. It's such an honor to have you.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be here.
hmm And Frank, you have spent decades helping people heal their past. What do you believe is the most misunderstood aspect of how unresolved memories continue to influence someone's peace today?
Well, memories from the past can make us formulate a lot of beliefs which don't help us in the long run. Like we can still be responding or even reacting to situations, like if we had a trauma in the past, like maybe mistrusting people or getting anxious about situations that we don't need to get anxious about. So it's a lot of so that's what I think is misunderstood. Some people will just say, let's forget the past and just move on, but it'll creep in at times and weigh you down if you can. Because one of my, well, the reason I went into studying psychology was since I remember every day of my life since 6 years old and I'm 65 now, the memories include not only the day of the week and what the weather was and personal events, as well as if any big news happened on that day. And, but they also include the emotions that I felt every day. So being able to remember, certainly remembering the good things like vacations, good times with friends, good times with my wife, and lots of things, but it can also remember bad days at work, losing jobs, romantic breakups before I met my wife, and a lot of the bad feelings would resurface too. So I wanted to be able to, since I knew I wasn't not going to let go of the memories. I thought, well, I need to let go of the feelings from the memories. So I learned how such things as reframing your thoughts about it and even listening to soothing music or listening to music that jogs a memory from the good memories. And I'll give a couple of examples of both extremes with that. There was a period in high school where I was really up and not from drinking or taking drugs or anything, just from 16 and part of 17. And even now, when I hear music from that era, it gives me an instant lift. And then 6 years later, my first year out of college, I was just really down. I had had a job right out of college in a psychiatric unit, an adolescent psychiatric unit, and they let me go after 2 months. And I was just, like, really down after that. So even when I hear music from that era, I try and avoid listening to it because the fact that a lot of music brings back memories e and brings back the feelings, how you felt when you heard it. So, so I learned from psychology and some self-help how to let go of the feelings and emotions from the bad memories, but keep the ones from the good memories.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's amazing. And also, do you find that people avoid their past out of fear or because they don't realize how deeply those experiences still affect their present?
Yes, well, a lot of times, like, I people might not realize it, or they might realize it in kind of a superficial way. They might just say, well, one time when I was a toddler, I was scratched by our cat. So I'm afraid of cats now, as a hypothetical example. And they might be afraid, or maybe somebody who was a rape or incest victim might have a real hard time both trusting people and especially if it was someone they trusted, like an adult relative who did it. Or and they might also feel like they have no control over their life because during that experience, they had no control over their body. So then they can tend to generalize and think they have no control over all aspects of their life. So, and these are ways that people might not think but can affect them.
Yes, 100%. And also, that distinction shines a light on how powerful awareness can be when beginning the healing journey.
Yes, that's right. That's right. It's important to acknowledge the feelings. Of course, when you have any kind of bad feeling, and I often tell this to my clients who experience a lot of anxiety and panic attacks. Ironically, the first thing to do is acknowledge that you're feeling that way because that takes some of the edge off of it. Because if you're anxious and trying to fight it, that'll just put more pressure on you and you're likely to get more anxious and make it worse. But in fact, people who have panic attacks, I ha I often suggest they even use a little humor about it, like, they might say to themselves, "Oops, I'm having a panic attack, so nobody can expect anything out of me for the next half hour or so until I'm over this." And then you can begin once you've acknowledged that the feeling is there, you can, let it go and, uh depression, I mean, it can start like, if you're able to, if it's de-intensified enough, then you can take deep breaths or, put some soothing music on. Like, I mean, I remember when, uh, I I did massages for a little bit in the late '90s, and I remember when I was in school, we'd play soft soothing music when we practiced, and I'd play that in the studio that I had for a little while. Because that enhances the relaxing experience.
Yeah, I love that. And also, your highly superior autobiographical memory gives you a unique relationship with your past. How has remembering every day of your life shaped your understanding of emotional healing?
Yes, well, it is well, it's important the idea of letting go of the negative memories. I mean, I've had some, I've never had anything really horrific happen, but I've had some nasty things happen in my life, and, uh, and letting go of the feelings from them, like, You know, like and with my memory for dates and all, I have to be really careful not to have thoughts that make it worse. For instance, on Thursday, April 30th, 2020, I was let go of a job that I'd had for 10 and a half years. And my wife said, and we're doing telehealth because COVID had started, and my wife said said I should go take a walk. And as I was taking a walk, I remember also on a Thursday, the 30th, December 30th, 1982 was the day I lost that first job out of college. And I thought, oh, is this, I told myself, hey, don't get superstitious here, thinking that every time the 30th of a month falls on a Thursday, be nervous at work. Uh, and so, and so I let that go and said some prayers and listened to some music when I got back and it helped, yeah, it helps. And another thing I'd like to say about music, a lot of it when I've talked to real music enthusiasts, often, the music they'll listen to at any given moment, are, depend on what kind of a mood they're in. Like, they might, if they want to relax, they'll listen to some classical and if they're feeling emotional, maybe some opera or some popular music from their era, and, I also, although it's never much with the instruments, I sing in the praise team at my church, and, I sometimes I'll sing karaoke in bars, so, making music is certainly a joy too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. And also, do you think having such a vivid access to memories makes healing harder, or has it given you tools that others might not naturally develop?
Well, I think, it's made it hard in the sense of, it's a lot of work, letting go of the feelings from all those memories, but I would say for people who maybe, had a period of their life of trauma, like, say from age 9 to 13, they were regularly, molested by an uncle or someone who, just for the past 3.5 years were in a job that they absolutely hated and couldn't stand going to work each day. You just have to heal that one aspect. But when you have as many memories as I do, I really worked hard on, letting go, and sometimes a bad one will still pop up that I haven't worked on yet, so I'll let it go. A lot of times I'll do the EFT tapping, to let go of the feeling, or I'll take some deep breaths, and well, another thing I teach my clients is to do a grounding exercise if they're having a flashback to a bad memory. I'll take some deep breaths and then look around where you are at all the sights and maybe say what day it is and think about all your circumstances now as long as they're good. So, and that helps them to realize, oh, that's just a memory. It has nothing to do with my life now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that perspective offers such an intriguing window into memory. How it can be both burden us and guide us?
Well, I think we need to, if you read my some of I've written, among other books I've written, is a self-help trilogy, Heal Your Memories. It's 3 books where in each one, I took 12 to 15 people and interviewed them who had been through something traumatic, but now they're happy and thriving. And, um, and I tell, but it also includes exercises where you get into a meditative state and, and do different things to help heal your past. And the people I interviewed, they've been through things like school bullying, or workplace bullying, injuries which sidelined their careers, and just growing up in a war zone. So all kinds of things that people, have been through and how they overcame it. And I include exercises in each one for the reader to do. And, I would say music can enhance doing any of these exercises if, this show has got me thinking that, maybe if I write revised editions of these books, I'll include, maybe some appropriate favorite music while you're doing the meditation and visualization exercises.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's great. And also, you have mentioned incorporating a novel idea about music into this conversation. How can music become a therapeutic bridge for healing emotionally charged memories?
Yes, it can be healing because it puts your mind in your mind in a state where you're creative and well, depending on what music you're listening to, it can put you in a relaxed state. And one thing I'm able to do, and if any of you listeners are able to do this, think think about different facts while you're listening to music, because what that does is it integrates the left brain and the right brain because you're thinking about facts and listening to the music. So it can be a tremendously good feeling to be doing both.
Mm-hmm. Yes, for sure. And have you found certain types of music more effective for memory release, emotional grounding, or self reflection?
Well, any kind of like, I'm not an expert in some of the soft music that they play, as I mentioned during massages, but I still like listening to it. It's really soothing. And any popular song from that you know of, even if it was popular 50 or more years ago, that calms you down, puts you in a happy, relaxed state. Like maybe a song that when you were dating your spouse, it became your theme song together. It's so any music that gives you a positive feeling, and music really can evoke lots of feelings. And I would, as a side to that, I would say when you're in mourning for a loved one, sometimes listening to some operatic tragedies can help you get the feelings out because you need to mourn, and that can help you. As well as any song that reminds you of your lost loved one. Because when you're in mourning, you need to get everything out before you can accept that they're gone. And so, that's the only time that I would advocate listening to music that can make you sad and start crying when you really need to get it out, because so many people have learned to hold everything in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that insight beautifully reveals how sound can become a sanctuary for both understanding and release.
Yes, that's it. The music has so many ways it can help you in addition to just being enjoyable. It can it can really help you. In fact, sometimes when I want to take things a little less seriously, I'll listen to this artist who was big in the 1980s, Weird Al Yankovic. He wrote all these silly parodies to popular songs, like and if you want to and I mentioned if you want to relax, and sometimes listening to fast tempoed music when you're excited about something. For instance, like maybe if uh maybe if someone is get packing and getting ready to go on a vacation to the beach, and I live in the Jersey Shore area, so I never have to go, I'm already there. But, for people who go for vacations, and you're so busy packing and stressing over the trip, maybe listen to some Beach Boys or, some fast-tempoed music to get you all excited.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. And you have worked with people facing trauma, emotional distress, and relationship challenges. What is one approach that consistently helps individuals move from reactivity to resilience when confronting their past?
Yes, well, people really facing a tragedy, it may or may not be good to, or say, well, yes, I said it would be good if you've lost a loved one to get everything out, but also a lot of times when you've had a romantic breakup, it's it might actually be good but painful to listen to a song that reminds you of your relationship, because you can go through the same things as you do in mourning when you lost a loved one to death, when you had a romantic breakup. So maybe listening to that, but then have a good cry, but then listen to better music beyond that, happier music beyond that. And facing a tragedy, because at funerals, I know a lot of times the- there'll be pictures on collage on easels of all things pictures and things the person had, like maybe their old library card or something, or a club membership card, and as well as pictures of them, and including music in that might be good too. Their favorite song, I know. So, and it all can all help you with getting through both the happy and the sad music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that adds such nuance, reminding us that healing is both an emotional and intellectual process.
Yes, that's it. So the emotions and the thoughts. Now, so it's really a good tool to use that I think is music is underused a lot of times in the therapy process, but it can be a really helpful tool.
Yeah. So, what a powerful and insightful exploration of healing, memory, and the pathways to inner peace. Frank reminds us that our past is not a prison, it's a landscape we can learn to navigate with clarity, intention, and even harmony. If today's conversation moved you, let it be an invitation to gently revisit the stories that need understanding, release, or reframing. Your peace is not behind you, it's waiting within you. So until next time, continue seeking the harmony that aligns your past, present, and future into wholeness.